Caitlin Clark is just different from everyone else.
Caitlin Clark walking back into Carver Hawkeye.
Caitlin Clark opening up the game, pull-up three, bang, to the logo three to close the third quarter, walking off to a standing ovation.
It was an unbelievable game to watch on television.
It's crazy how one player can implement a change so massive. That is Caitlin Clark.
Because Caitlin Clark did more than simply play today. She ruined the Brazil national team right here in Iowa. The basketball world just stopped and stared.
Whenever Caitlin Clark takes the floor, that maybe is different not only from any player in the WNBA, but from any player in basketball.
Caitlin returned from her months-long absence from the court with magic in her hands and fire in her eyes.
She was finally back on the basketball court against the Brazilian national team.
From no-look passes that left defenders stunned to deep logo threes that sent the crowd into a frenzy, this was a statement. Not only is Caitlin Clark back, but she is at her very best.
Look at this.
Every shot, every dribble, every assistant shouted one item, and the court's queen gave it back.
The Indiana Fever are where they are because of Caitlin Clark. The WNBA is where it is because of Caitlin Clark. The Iowa situation is what it is because of Caitlin Clark.
And believe me, if you're a Caitlin Clark fan and want to show your full support for her in the comments section, you should see what happened in this game when Caitlin Clark finally put on her sneakers and returned to the court. Not just to any court, but the court where her legend was born. It was like watching a spark ignite into a full-fledged wildfire. For most athletes, 7 months is enough time to lose rhythm, sharpness, and possibly even confidence.
Caitlin Clark play, and then we got one of the highlights of her career, really. We know she broke the record at Iowa, and then I'm gonna pull up from all the way here. The ball's way in the air, and it goes down.
The crowd had been waiting for this moment, and the anticipation within the arena was nearly intolerable.
In Iowa City at the Carver Hawkeye Arena, the Fever and Brazil.
The crowd was not just large, but also raucous as they counted down the days since they last witnessed their idol rule the hardwood.
This is the cue more than 2 hours before the game. Not even, if not, probably 4 figures amount of people are waiting outside already 2 hours before for everything to open up.
Everybody was clapping simultaneously as they stood up, and you could see the 22 logo emblazoned on the ground. Whole families were crammed into the stands, young girls clutching handmade signs while donning Clark jerseys.
The whole crowd was all standing up together, clapping. You could see the 22 logo imprinted on the floor. Caitlin
and seasoned Iowa fans sat on the edge of their seats as if history were about to be made again. The gym was filled with energy. It wasn't just a preseason exhibition. It felt like the beginning of something huge. Then Caitlin checked in, and the moment her sneakers touched the court, the entire arena erupted in cheers. It wasn't a courteous applause, but a thunderous roar. Phones went up like a sea of stars, recording the moment they had been waiting for, and every pair of eyes was fixed on her. Even the Brazil players couldn't help but look over.
Lexi Hall rocked up wearing a Caitlin Clark Iowa jersey. These players are very much out there to celebrate Caitlin Clark.
It didn't take her long to remind everyone why she's in a league of her own. The moment Caitlin touched the ball, you could feel the crowd taking a collective breath. There's something about her presence that attracts attention like few athletes ever can.
Brazil, look at this. Belong. My goodness.
When the shot clock started to run out, the majority of players would panic and rush for a bailout pass or force up a crazy shot because every dribble was precise, every pivot looked crisp, there was no rust, and every movement was premeditated. Not Caitlin, who exuded the self-assurance of an accomplished superstar and the instincts of a born scorer, went back so far beyond the three-point line that it was nearly absurd.
So this is what an actual crowd looks like. Chloe Peterson put this up. That is a sold-out arena, 14,998 people. That's all it could hold. They all showed up in Caitlin Clark's college arena. Absolutely full capacity, folks. Full capacity on this thing.
And shoot the ball away from the logo.
Didn't plan to shoot that logo 3. I know coming into the game, everybody wanted me to shoot one from there. But Steph was like, was supposed to come out at the end of the third, so she's like, give a foul, give a foul, give a foul. And then it was 30 seconds on the clock, which like between 30 to 33, that's like your 2-for-1 range where you have to get one up. So I saw 30 as we're inbounding the ball, which probably is inbounding the ball at 30, probably a little low. But I was like, why not?
When the ball dropped clean through the net from far behind it, there was a moment of stunned silence during which everyone in the building wondered if she really did that. Then the explosion occurred, and the fans burst out of their seats. The bench went crazy, and the Brazil players stood with their mouths slightly dropped. It wasn't just 3 points, though. It was a declaration. Caitlin Clark told the world, not only am I back, I'm at a whole new level.
The ball movement was great to see. Who didn't want to see that the ball snapping around and the unselfish play? I think it bodes very, very well for the ceiling of this.
The beauty of that shot wasn't just how far away it was also how effortlessly she executed it. No extra steps, no needless hesitation, just a quick, clean motion as if she had been practicing that exact shot every day for years. In reality, though she most likely has, this wasn't luck. Rather, it was the product of months of planning, training, and honing her craft while everyone else wondered how she would transition to the next stage of her career. But that shot was only the beginning.
She broke her own damn record, hitting 36-foot-long three-pointers. She looked it sensational. This team looked it great, and I'm telling you right now, they just put the entire WNBA on notice.
The court where Caitlin Clark established her reputation as a generational talent had now become the stage for her grand return, and it felt poetic. This wasn't a warm-up game. Rather, it was Caitlin Clark's reintroduction party, and she made sure that everyone in the building and everyone watching at home understood loud and clear that the queen is back and she's just getting started, even though the majority of the headlines will focus on her deep threes. As the first quarter progressed, Caitlin didn't just settle into the game, she commanded it. Her body language exuded confidence.
Caitlin pretty much controlled this game. As far as Brazil, no one really stood.
And believe me, there were many things that set her performance versus Brazil apart, including her total mastery of every aspect of the game. This was not only a scorer showcasing her skill set, rather, it was a masterclass in how one player can lead a whole team.
She put on a show. The deep logo 3 that further than the logo really, that no one else is doing. The delicious dimes whenever Caitlin Clark takes the floor that maybe is different not only from any player in the WNBA, but from any player in basketball.
Like a director conducting a symphony, Caitlin controlled every square inch of the court, making herself the focal point of every offensive and defensive move.
The team looked it great. Caitlin Clark looked like she's ready to go.
And it all began with her playmaking, which is the aspect of her game that frequently gets lost in the spotlight due to her incredible goals, but is just as deadly from the first possession following her trademark 3. Caitlin transitioned into the position of floor general with ease. She scanned the court with the accuracy of a chess grandmaster, anticipating the movements of both her teammates and the Brazilian defense. When Brazil attempted to trap her close to half court, obviously in an attempt to force turnovers or break the flow, she didn't flinch. Instead, she broke the double team with a quick crossover and a sharp behind the back dribble, cutting through the lane like a hot knife through butter.
She's going to be responsible for moving the ball more. She's going to be responsible for setting picks, dropping the ball off, making decisions. It's not just going to be dumping the ball down and you make a decision and we'll live with whatever you do. So,
and this is where her skill truly came into play. Rather than forcing a contested layup over taller defenders, she whipped a one-handed no-look bounce pass between two defenders that landed perfectly in stride for her cutting teammate layup, scoring 2 points instantly. However, that was just the start of her passing clinic throughout the game. After fooling out her defender with a jab step and driving baseline, Caitlin delivered dime after dime, each one more daring and inventive than the previous one-on-one play. She then looped the ball behind her back in midair to a wide-open teammate in the corner for a seamless three-pointer.
You can see when Caitlin Clark is walking in because there are about 17 extra cameras there following her.
These weren't just spectacular plays, they were high IQ, high-impact plays that tore apart Brazil's defense at its seams. Every time they attempted to close in on her, she punished them with surgical precision, and her teammates knew to stay. ready, because when Caitlin Clark is on the court, the ball can find you at any moment in ways you least expect. Moments later, during transition, she threaded a full court bullet pass that would make NFL quarterbacks jealous, hitting her teammate, perfectly in stride for an easy fast break layup.
Honestly, like, I was really excited to just get out there and play, and especially getting to do it for the first time this season in front of these fans was really cool for myself. And like, just seeing the amount of people and young girls and young boys that stand there and like scream for me to sign their stuff, like, I don't take that for granted. Like, that's so cool. Like, I would be lying to you if I thought that was like just like normal and everybody gets to do that. Like, they don't. So I'm glad I can be a role model for them, and you know, they have a great impact on me too.
The way she skillfully balanced scoring and facilitating was what really stood out, because most players, even at the highest level, tend to focus mostly on one or the other. They are either the scorer or the passer. After a few brilliant assists, Caitlin changed roles in an instant. When Brazil sagged off her to block the lanes and cut off passing angles, she calmly stepped back and drained a deep jumper in their face. The defense was left in a state of constant confusion, not knowing whether to collapse on her or chase her off the perimeter. Caitlin took advantage of this confusion repeatedly with her trademark composure. On defense, she wasn't a slouch either on one crucial possession when Brazil's point guard attempted to start a pick and roll. The crowd erupted once more as Caitlin foresaw the play before it even happened. She jumped the passing lane, poked the ball loose, and took off in transition, but instead of running blindly to the rim, she slowed, considered her options in mid-ride, and lofted a perfectly timed alley-oop pass to her teammate. With each play like that, it became increasingly evident that Caitlin wasn't just about scoring points. Rather, she was about elevating everyone around her.
Like, I'm just very, very thankful to be able to come back to a place that continues to support me and see old friends that are having a great time getting to watch me do my thing, that don't play basketball anymore, that are just my friends, and spending time with them. Like, even though it was just dinner last night, like, it's just fun to come back here and like kind of feel like you're in college again in a way, but also it was a little weird like going in the locker room. But I don't know, something about this gym like just makes me play well, and these shoes, like, it just, I don't know. So there's something about it, but I just, a lot of gratitude, and just thankful I can share it with my family too. A lot of them were here, my grandparents were here, and they don't get to come to many either. And yeah, these are the moments that like you never take for granted, and you kind of just want to stay in for forever. Just seeing the amount of people and young girls and young boys that stand there and like scream for me to sign their stuff, like, I don't take that for granted. Like, that's so cool. Like, I would be lying to you if I thought that was like just like normal and everybody gets to do that. Like, they don't. So I'm glad I can be a role model for them, and you know, they have a great impact on me.